Hello guys, and welcome back to Living an Inspired Life. Guys, in this episode, I want to talk about how to like yourself when you hate yourself, and a very simple method to help build and lift self-esteem. And guys, I'm not trying to be a comic when it comes to the title. This is something I personally struggled with many years ago for a long time. And I know some of you that are watching, if you're struggling with this, I hope my video can provide some kind of inspiration and help. All right, so in this video, and also guys, this video is to complement my first episode right here called Authenticity, because I do realize in order to be authentically yourself and to like the authentic you have to like yourself. So this is to complement the video right here. So in this video, I'm going to break it up into two sections. The first section, I want to talk about my personal relationship with self-esteem. Basically, I want to tell you guys how much I hated myself and how I dealt with that. All right. It's very important that I share my story with you. That way, whoever is watching, you that is watching, I want you to be able to trust me that I know exactly what I'm talking about and that I have personally experienced issues with self-esteem, and I know what that feels like to hate yourself and to not like yourself. All right. The second portion of my video is where I talk about how to build self-esteem using a very simple method. And when I say simple, guys, I mean like stupid simple. I needed something stupid simple at the time. I was really at a fork road in my life. And so I needed something that was very easy to do. Not easy to do, but very easily accessible. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. My personal relationship with self-esteem, guys, growing up, all the way up until I was about 2021, I had zero self-esteem. I grew up in a very violent, very volatile and abusive childhood in a home, very volatile, abusive home. And so, growing up, that was not something that was focused on. When I was about 8, 9 years old, my dad actually sat me down and broke down my face and explained why each of my features were not beautiful and why something was wrong with it. And then he told me that there was no way anyone else would ever find me beautiful. So I grew up believing that I was not beautiful. That was not something that was nurtured of me. And when you're growing up in an abusive home, you learn very quickly to silence yourself. You learn very quickly to suppress your feelings, your emotions, your opinions, your thoughts, because you don't want to rock the boat. So you become a mouse, like a little tiny mouse. Because when you rock the boat, you can ultimately place your own life in danger, or the people that you love, like my mother and my little brother, you can place their lives in danger. So you learn very quickly to just suppress everything and just be a little mouse. And when you do that for your entire life, when you're developing as a child, what happens is you lose your identity, you lose your sense of individuality. And when that happens, there is absolutely no need for self-esteem. So self-esteem is something I never had in my life. I didn't even know I was missing it. That was just never even a thought of or a part of my existence growing up. All right, so that is my relationship with self-esteem. But luckily, guys, in my 20s, when I hit 21, I had a life-changing transformation. And I was able to pull myself out of this, crippling existence that I had. Because guys, when I was growing up, I was really crippled by depression, no self-esteem. And as I started to get older, I had lots of thoughts of suicide. I was really struggling and I was just completely lost and empty. And I was basically like a zombie walking around. So I was really desperate and really on the verge of, contemplating the purpose of my life. All right. But I had this transformation and I have been living for the past over 20 years in complete clarity, peace, happiness, and joy. So guys, whoever's watching, if you're on a journey of healing, I'm living proof that complete and total healing and release and freedom from past trauma is possible. You have got to want it relentlessly and work for it relentlessly, but it is possible. I'm living proof of that. All right, guys, so don't give up. It's there, it's possible. All right, so moving on to my second part, which is the simple method to establishing and building self-esteem. Guys, so I just mentioned that I was at a fork road in my life, right? When I was building self-esteem. So that fork road really was life and death for me. And the thing is, I really wanted life. I chose life, and I desperately wanted to live. Like the air I was breathing, I wanted to live. That was my choice. But the problem was, I hated myself. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw my dad. You know, I have my dad's face, I have my dad's features. So whenever I saw myself in the mirror, I despised the way I looked. I hated the way I chewed my food, how I swallowed my food, how I held a pen in my hand, the way I walked. I hated everything about myself. Oh, my battery is running low. Okay, so, you know, there was this hatred for myself over on this corner, and yet I had this deep desire to have self-esteem and to love myself, this yearning to love and find myself. But the gap between the two was so large. I knew I had to find a way to bridge the gap, but it was so deep and wide, I didn't know how to. But I knew I wanted to live, and so I knew I had to do something, and I had to do something small. And guys, I had no therapy in this. I had no therapist to help me. My therapy was my choice to live. I wanted to live. And I really believe that when you are relentless and wanting to do something, life gives you spiritual inspiration. And when you get that, you follow it. And so for me, it was, I needed to start small. I knew I wanted to live. So what was it that I can, attach to that thought of life, right? What can I associate with that? And it occurred to me, I had to start small by literally taking inventory of my body. Because what is it? My body is what keeps me alive, right? My body is the temple in which my mind, my heart, my spirit lives. It keeps me alive. So I knew the bridge between liking myself and hating myself was big, but I knew I had to acknowledge something within myself. And I had to find peace within myself. And so I started, for some reason, I started with my hands. It was a part of my body. My body kept me alive, right? So I needed to find something that I could find peace with, right? And so I started with my hands. And I looked at my hands because, growing up and even until, adulthood, people would comment, oh boy, you've got such cute little hands. And I know they didn't mean any harm by it, but I was always so bothered by that. I was very insecure about it. Now I love my hands. So I started with my hands and I said, these are small hands. They might not be the most beautiful hands, but these hands feed me. They put food in my mouth. Wow, they have a purpose. Thank you for my hands. I like my hands. I literally said that. I like my hands. Thank you, hands. I started changing the inner dialogue that I had within myself for something as basic as my hands. And that is my method for you guys. If you're struggling or if you need some kind of method, start small. Start with your body. Your body is what sustains you and keeps you alive. Have you given credit for your body, your limbs, your hands, your feet? They work every single second of your life to keep you alive. Have you ever given them credit, right? Because the thing is, when you give yourself credit, you are basically giving yourself self-esteem. Self means you, no one else. You are doing it. And esteem means to encourage, to lift up, to esteem. And when you're giving yourself credit, you are lifting, esteeming, encouraging yourself up. Self-esteem. It is the smallest act of self-esteem, but the thing is, I truly believe small acts can lead to bigger acts. Small things can lead to bigger things. So you start small. When the gap is so big, you start small. Then I move down to my feet. Wow, I have 10 toes. I can move my 10 toes and they keep me up. They sustain me. They take me from point A to point B. Wow. Thank you, feet. I like my feet. Right? Changing the inner dialogue with basic, simple things. Your body, right? And the thing is, even as you're saying these things, if you don't believe it and you don't like yourself still, you say it with mindfulness and with deep gratitude. You practice it because you may not believe it the first time. Happiness, self-esteem is a muscle, and you work it until you can access it whenever you want. That's when it becomes really strong and rooted and centered in your heart. And you will get there, but it takes practice, just like with anything else. So you practice your inner dialogue with basic, simple things that sustain you, right? And then I moved up to my mind. Growing up, I didn't think I was the sharpest girl, the sharpest tool in the shed. But here's the thing, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. And I had to make peace with that because my self-esteem was so low. The thought that I was not the quickest person, the wittiest person, the smartest person really, pushed me down even more growing up, right? And I had to make peace with myself somehow. And I remember thinking, when I set the alarm in the morning, my brain, when it hears it, it wakes up. Wow, that is really smart for my brain to recognize the sound and to wake my entire existence up. How smart is that? I had to make peace that even though I was not the smartest person in the room, that I was smart enough to keep myself alive. And that's pretty darn smart. I am smart. Changing the inner dialogue, right? At a red light, my God, my brain stops, presses the brake pedal. My brain sends messages to my body, keeps me alive and keeps everybody else alive by pressing the brake pedal. Wow, I am brilliant. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You are smart just by sustaining yourself, right? Think about it, guys. Your body, your spirit, your mind, all of it is working simultaneously to produce actions. That is incredibly brilliant. We are brilliant. You are smart. I am smart, right? Same thing with beauty, My gosh, my eyes, my face, this is the face that I was born with. I can see things with my eyes. I can smell with my nose. I can speak with my mouth. I am beautiful. This is what sustains me. I had to make peace with that. And guys, check this out. Our bodies, our cells in our bodies reproduce every single day, right? Now think about that. It reproduces because it's saying, I think you are so beautiful and I want you. And I think you're so amazing that I want to keep replicating you every single day and keep you alive. Your body tells you that you are beautiful every single day. Have you thought about that? You don't have to be the most beautiful person in the room. You are beautiful. Your body tells you this every single day, right? So guys, give yourself credit. Credit goes a long way. Simple things, basic primal things that keep you alive. Start there when you have nowhere else to start. Start small, change the inner dialogue, and it goes a long, long way. And when you keep practicing this, I promise you, sparks of love will continue to grow until your self-esteem is so rooted and centered and so strong that nothing can shake you easily, and you can access self-esteem very, very quickly throughout your life, because you're going to need it throughout your life. All right? Guys, I want to end with one more thing. And I want to say this because I believe this is very relevant to this topic. Through my experience in healing, I realized that the first thing and the number one thing that you should work on is self-esteem. Just my personal opinion. Because for my journey, when I was able to establish self-esteem and build that into my life and into my heart and practice that on a daily basis, the next steps of healing organically reveal themselves. And for me, at warp speed, they reveal themselves because I was able to lay down that foundation of self-esteem so strongly So guys, I truly believe self-esteem is the first and key step, that first brick that you should lay down in your foundation on your journey to self-healing. The reason why I say that is the depth of how deeply you can love and value yourself is a direct reflection of how deeply you can love and value everything and anyone around you and in your life. So without self-esteem, that ability to love and encourage yourself, on your way to healing, if that is not straight and strong, there is a tendency to break down the road. I truly believe that. So if you're on a journey to healing, I encourage you to work effortlessly in building effortlessly. Does that even make sense in the sentence? Make a lot of effort, guys. Guys, I didn't have a lot of sleep last night, so my brain's not working. But, make it your effort, your biggest effort, guys, in building self-esteem. That really should be the foundation that you build everything on. Your healing journey, that should be built on self-esteem, guys. All right? So that is my message today. Guys, if you enjoyed my message, I ask for two things: that you please comment and like. That way a YouTube algorithm can pick this video up and share it to as many people as possible, because I do believe people need positive messages in their lives. And guys, if you want to join my community and watch more content, I would love for you to subscribe. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers within 4 to 6 months, which I really think is doable. So if you could help out, that'd be great. I'd love to have you in my community. All right, I have 2 mottos in life. My first motto is tomorrow is never guaranteed. Live in the present, live adventurously and joyfully and curiosity. Oh my God, I really can't talk. Curiously, live adventurously and curiously like there is no tomorrow, guys, okay? Because tomorrow is never guaranteed. Live in the present. Motto number 2 is live in gratitude, and joy will always follow. All right? Thanks so much, guys. By the way, thank you for all the likes and the views on my first episode here. Guys, that was my most successful video on my entire channel in that short span of time. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm so excited on this journey that we're on together in living an inspired life. Guys, I truly believe that we all deserve peace and happiness. And so I hope that you continue to join me on my content as I share more of my personal experience and my journey that I've had to reach the happiness and peace that I have and clarity that I have for over 20 years. I believe that is really a gift from the universe, God, and for me to be able to share my story and hopefully impact even just one person. That is a way for me to say thank you for the grace that the universe has given to me for my peace and clarity and joy in my life. And with that, I say goodbye. All right, see you guys next time. Bye.
Funny how the story goes, little hope but bigger dreams.